Welcome back to Daybreak. And today, this morning, right now, we're talking about the Japa crisis and Nigeria's infrastructural challenges. The term Japa, derived from the Yoruba word meaning to flee or escape, has become a popular expression describing the increasing migration of Nigerians, particularly young professionals, skilled workers, and students, to countries such as the UK, Canada, and the United States, Australia, and part of Europe in search of better opportunities. While migration itself is not new, the current wave is unprecedented because it involves highly skilled professionals whose expertise is crucial to Nigerians' development. Doctors, nurses, lecturers, engineers, ICT experts, artisans, or you can say unskilled workers, are living in significant numbers, and it's concerning. This discussion moves beyond people who are leaving Nigeria to why are people leaving Nigeria? What are the consequences and how can Nigeria respond? And to help us unpack these is Godwin Jumbo, who is a political analyst. Thank you for joining us on Daybreak this morning, Godwin.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. There's this trend of Japa syndrome, the Japa phenomenon. I'd like you to give us insights. What is Japa phenomenon?
All right. First of all, when you talk about Japa, it means people migrating from their own country to another place. And the first question that comes to our mind is, why do Nigerians migrate? There are several reasons. To some persons, it's for search of greener pasture, while some persons is to get quality education, and to other persons is to get quality health attention, and depending on the skill. Now, majority of Nigerians live because of greener pastures. Don't also forget that some persons also live because of safety. Now, talking about greener pasture, let's look at our minimum wage. Our minimum wage is 70,000 naira. If you break it down to daily, let's say for instance per hour, that will cost you about, on a daily basis, that will be 2,300 naira. Now the first question is, can you survive with 2,300 naira per day? That's the question. Can you survive with that? And another issue that burdens our mind is the fact that we have security threats, security issues in this country. To some persons, they are not looking for greener pasture. They just look for they are looking for a place that they can be safe and their family will also be safe. We've seen issues emanating from around the corner, bandit, Boko Haram, and all of that. Nobody knows the next community to be invaded. Just imagine students were sent to school in Oyo State. Over 46 students were being kidnapped. Till today, we've not heard anything from them. So some persons have to japa because of security issues. And to other persons, it has to do with quality education. Our educational system here is much centered on theoretical knowledge. When you compare that with the UK, Canada, and the Western world, they base it more on practical knowledge. And for instance, for me as a person, I study political science. I've not been privileged to attend a plenary in the National Assembly before. It's not supposed to be so. Now the question now is, how will I be more effective in the labor market when I do not have a more practical knowledge of what I study? So some persons, they live to get this quality, because what employers are looking for are not people who have the theoretical knowledge. It's people who have already gained the practical knowledge. That's what employers of labor are looking for.
Let me come in here. Do you think Japa is the disease or a symptom of structural problem? What exactly is the problem that makes people Japa?
The main reason why people leave Nigeria is because we have a system that is not working. I'll tell you the truth. We have a system that is not working.
How do you mean?
What I mean is the fact that, for instance, we have over 15 to 17 million Nigerians in diaspora.
Okay.
And this 15 to 17 million in diaspora remit over 20 billion to 25 billion naira every year, annually. You understand what I'm saying? Now, for instance, okay, let's say, for instance, Nigerians who study abroad, like the UK, we generate 1.9 billion naira to the UK government. If you convert it to naira, that is over 3 trillion naira annually.
Okay, you mean 9.9
1.9 trillion billion
Pounds.
pounds.
Okay.
If you convert it to naira, that is over 3 trillion naira.
Okay.
Now, if you have this money put into your educational system, it will make it more attractive for your citizens to remain here and even attract the neighboring countries to come in here. So our government is failing. That's why we have increasing number. They are failing in their responsibility of looking forward into educational system in Nigeria that is collapsing by the day. Our medical sector is also collapsing by the day. In recent time, over 16,000 doctors have left Nigeria. And we have, statistics show that we have 55,000 doctors.
Which means one doctor to 600
To treat
patients.
over 200 million citizens. How is that possible?
Oh, I want to come in here. You make mention of that the government, they failed in their part.
Yes.
And that is the reason why Nigerians are jackparing.
Yes.
I think I disagree with that, because that jackpot syndrome is not just unique to Nigerians.
Okay.
Other countries, for example, like in Mexico, their economy is also booming, but then again, their citizens, they are fleeing their countries, going to maybe a country like the US, Canada, and the rest of it. So what will you say is affecting that country?
Okay.
If you are not maybe tying, maybe you are referring to Nigeria because the government are failing, that's why Nigerians are jackparing. What about the other country I just mentioned now? I just referenced.
Now, let's look at, when it comes to immigration or migration, it is a natural phenomenon. People
Good.
travel for different reasons. But when you have your best soldiers living at interval, there's an issue. I don't know if you understand. When you have your doctors living, like I went to my school, University of Benin. Some of the lecturers that taught me, they are no longer there. What happened? They've left. It's not supposed to be like that. Because one called me and said, Jumbo, we are tired of depending on students to survive. We are tired. The salaries are not paying. The salary cannot even meet up with our daily expenses and all of that. And so if they have the means possible, they leave. Talking about the Mexico you are talking about, they travel sometimes they travel for vacation and they come back. Nigerians travel and don't come back. Because when you travel there, when you go out there, you see the life, constant lights.
Apart from the
You are
jackpot,
seeing
there's
constant-
jackpot there. I just want to correct that information when you said Nigerians travel and don't come back. Some do come back. They
Some-
come back,
some.
yes. Some come back to invest in
In
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
You understand? Or some come back as a result of deportation. They may not want to come back. But those that want to invest in Nigeria, they come back. And you see they employ others after putting down their investment, maybe infrastructure, could be agriculture, could be commercial, or whatever means it is. You see them that Nigerians also benefit from them. So that is where the jackpot syndrome comes in. So before I let you go on, let's talk about brain drain and brain gain. In Nigeria, we say that when Nigerians leave, there's brain drain, such as experienced doctors leave, nurses, engineers, artisans, lecturers, scientists, software developers.
All right.
Then the effects are you have fewer specialists, you have reduced productivity, you have slower innovation, and you have poor public services. Then the brain gain is that diasporans in Nigeria, they send billions of dollars home annually, which you mentioned earlier. They invest in businesses, they transfer skills, they create jobs, and they support family. Now the big question is, do these remittances compensate for the loss of skilled manpower?
Okay, let me just tailor it down to Edo State, for instance.
Okay.
Edo State, out of the 15 to 16 million people I mentioned in diaspora and all of that, and out of the 20 billion naira
revenue.
remittance, Edo State contribute 35% to that.
What do you
Okay.
mean?
As at 2026, the first quarter of 2026, we had over 5 billion naira remittance. So let's say, for instance, Edo State alone, diaspora remittance is over 7 billion naira annually. Let's go to the brain drain. Now, I made mention that we've had over 16,000 doctors leaving Nigeria to abroad? What is the reason? One, the salary here is not commensurate with that of the Western world. Like for instance, my wife is a healthcare worker abroad. That's in Canada. Her basic salary per hour is $23 for 1 hour. Convert it. While your minimum wage here is just 70,000 naira. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, for instance, you get, it's easy for you to get quality life over there with time. But here, you struggle 20 years. You see young man of 40 years is still in his father's house. What they will just use to trap you is to put you into the civil service, where you can work 40 years, 35 years, and at the end of the day, you cannot even build a house. Come, look at the cost of building materials. Bag of cement now is 12,000 naira. How can somebody who is earning 70,000 naira afford that? That's the reason why we live. That's the reason why people want to live. But is that the solution? Because the more we leave this country outside and try to get a comfortable life, our country is sinking.
I think
and that's why the South Africans today can mess up with Nigerians when it comes to xenophobia stuff.
Let me
I think
here.
Okay.
Now let's look at it from this angle again. Nigeria often undervalues local talent, but overpays imported expertise. Why? Why is it that we undervalue those we have here? Because when they say that they are underpaid or undervalued, they tend to seek you understand? They tend to seek greener pastures out there, and this leads to jackpot. So because they're not valued there, and when they go there, like engineers are paid so well overseas. They even serve as consultants. But you see our engineers here, some of them are underpaid. Some don't even have jobs. So when they have this opportunity to jackpot from Nigeria, it's a go-go for them. Why do you think it's so?
All right. Why Nigerians have been, let's say for instance, if I bring a UK master degree certificate here, and somebody that graduated with a master degree in that same department from University of Benin, if both of us apply here, you would choose me
from the UK.
From the UK.
Why is it
over somebody that graduated from Uniben.
And why is it so?
One reason is the fact that our teaching method here cannot be commensurate with that of the UK. Because as a master degree in the UK, anywhere in the world, you can stand and defend that certificate. You know why? Because in the UK teaching system, they have what they call Quality Assurance Agency. This agency checkmates what university teaches their students. Make sure that they are giving them what the industries are looking for. Day-to-day curriculum. But why we are still struggling with the outdated curriculum that makes students so dependent instead of independent? You understand what I'm saying? So a UK certificate holder, we tend to appreciate them more because we feel that these guys, they have the practical knowledge to deliver. But in some cases, it's not all like that. Because sometimes we can have somebody from the University of Benin that is more intelligent than somebody from the UK.
All right, I want to come in here. You've been saying these, the government are responsible for this, the government are responsible for that. Now, what are the solutions now? How can the government ensure that this jackpot syndrome is minimized to the barest minimum? What are those practical solutions the government are to deploy?
Practical solution is not far-fetched.
Okay.
Number one, the question of why people migrate is one solution to that problem. One, when I talk about greener pasture, then let's look at the minimum wage. Is it not, it will not be too, it will be fair for the government to top up our minimum wage, knowing that cost of living is very high. Cost of food in the market, transportation, and your rent. Like for instance, as somebody who is staying outskirts of town, 1-bedroom flat, now, you are paying nothing less than 250,000 naira. You understand what I'm saying? A scenario whereby I earn 500,000 naira a month or 600,000 naira a month, and I hope that as I work, my salary will be increased, and that money meets up with my daily expenses. I will remain here.
If we had
and secondly, when I see that our educational structure system is being structured in a way that my degree here can speak anywhere. Look, let's not look at Europe. Let's look at even the West African countries.
Okay.
Can I use my certificate to work in Ghana, in other part of the world? Can you understand what I'm saying? The government should look at our educational system, improve on it, take away that we should advance to the stage of practical. As an engineer, as a medical engineer, as a electrical engineer, you don't even know what's happening. You can't even fix bulb.
Or the socket in your house.
Or socket in your house. You have to call an electrician to come and fix it. That's not the way out.
So in a nutshell, what you are saying, there should be a balance.
There should be a
While
balance.
the theoretical part is going on, that the practical aspect of it should also be
Yes.
brought in, so that maybe those students, when they eventually graduate from those schools, they can actually function in those particular field they study in school,
You're
in the
right.
industry. Is that what you are saying?
You're right.
Now let's come to technology now. You know, as we all know, technology has actually advanced a lot. Will you also say technology can also limit or reduce the Japa syndrome? Maybe for instance, those graduates getting a remote work while here in Nigeria, while they are maybe earning in dollar or pounds, as the case may be. What is your take on that?
Yes, thank you very much. Technology can really put a stop to some extent this reckless jackparing. For instance, you know, over there in the UK, when you subscribe for 1 month, you do 1 month data. It's 1 month.
Yeah.
1 month is 1 month. Yeah, your 1 month data is 3 days. Our government has refused to look into the telecommunication system. So if you don't have adequate network, you can't even improve in your technological advancement. That's what I'm saying in the first place.
Okay.
You understand? We have a problem in that area.
Okay, you are saying that if there's improved technological infrastructure, that alone can slow down the
Can
Japa
slow down,
syndrome.
yes.
Okay.
Can slow down.
Okay.
Because for instance now, all these phones we are using now, some of these phones are secondary school practicals in China
Yeah.
and other parts of the world.
Japan and the likes, yes.
Let me just tell you, we need to go beyond this theory, enter this the practical aspect. The practical aspect. Our polytechnic needs to be looked at in a way. Somebody from this thing should be able to produce something we should see made in Edo State.
Okay, I want to come in there. Do you think the government of Nigeria actually have the resources to bring about this practical aspect you are talking about? Do we have the resources? Do we have the wherewithal to weather this very suggestion you are bringing? Do you
Just to
think
add
we
a
have-
little to what my colleague has said,
Okay.
if we had better infrastructure spending, if we had education funding, healthcare investment, job creation, industrialization, policy consistency, would many Nigerians still choose to leave Nigeria?
That many Nigerians will not leave Nigeria. Okay, let's look at South Africa to Nigeria.
Okay.
We saw the issue of xenophobia happening, right? And one of our big businessmen in South Africa was killed during the xenophobia. That was Big Joe, right? Now, we are coming back here to now say South Africa must go. How many South Africans are in Nigeria? Compare the numbers. You understand? Many people leaving is as a result of all these little issues that needs to be fixed. In 2026, I was in the UK immigration office in Lekki. I think that was January. I saw crowd. If you see the crowd of people
There's always
that want to leave,
Yeah.
and this period, agents. If I tell you what agent is using Nigerians to see, they'll tell you, they'll give you all the promises and everything, and you spend your hard-earned money. That's why I don't advise you to go and sell your properties, to do any paper and all of that. Stake what you can afford in case. You understand?
Doesn't work out.
It doesn't work out. I just want Nigerian government to fix insecurity first.
Okay, security.
That is the major reason why people are leaving as at this 2026. Because I can't afford to lose my parents. I can't afford to lose my children. Another reason, if Nigeria can also fix power, what stops us as a nation to have 24-hour electricity? If I have 24-hour electricity, what will I be doing abroad?
Because I wanted to come in there.
What will I be
you
doing?
saying just security, because you need light as well.
Yeah, if I have 24-hour security, what will I be doing abroad? Even our banking sector need to also be checked. You put little savings, before you know, they will just be reducing the money. We have to check these things. These are the issues that makes people get angry. For what? They are reducing money, they are not adding to it. So as far as Nigeria is concerned, the solution to Japa is not far-fetched. Nigeria is a wealthy nation. If anybody tells you that Nigeria is poor and we cannot afford all these things, it's a lie. We have natural resources. We have everything. We have the human power. We have the market. Nigeria has the biggest market in Africa. So if we have products, we can sell it in our market. Why do China if Nigeria today decide not to buy from China, China will go down. We are the biggest market. We have the natural resources. We have the manpower and everything. So the government responsibility is to give us that necessary basic this thing for us to move on. Yeah. That's all. Nigerians can survive anywhere.
All right. I'd like to thank you, Godwin Jumbo, for your insights. We'll go on a short time out, and after that, the discussion continues. Stay with us.
That's the end of my...
You're not moving, neither is the boss. And that guy tried to sell you a car charger you don't need. You're stuck in traffic, and we're stuck with you. Welcome to Drive O'Clock, the show that understands your traffic pain and makes it funny. We've got gist, real talk, community buzz, and just enough drama to keep things spicy. So if you're gonna be stuck in traffic, at least be stuck with the best crew on radio.
We are much break for there. This one Drive O'Clock with DPO of the airwaves, Sarikin Talakawa, and it reach you live from 95.7 FM Benin, EBS Radio. If you touch the dial, you go Kolebulala.
How many times would they tell you? Drive O'Clock every 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Weekdays on 95.7 FM, EBS Radio. Every great transformation begins with a blueprint. Not drawn on paper, but written in action. And in Edo State, the blueprint has a name: Practical Governance. It is the blueprint of roads that don't just exist, but connect communities. Of healthcare that doesn't wait, but reaches the people. Of security that isn't reactive, but ready. It is the blueprint of a leader who doesn't govern from a distance, but walks the streets, listens to the people, and leads with courage. This blueprint has come alive in flyovers rising, communities shining, farmers returning to the soil with pride, and children learning in classrooms filled with possibilities. This is the governance you can see, governance you can touch, governance you can feel. Because the Pueblo Blueprint is not about promises, it's about results, real results. With a shine agenda, security, health, infrastructure, natural resources, education, the blueprint is unfolding. One project, one community, one life at a time. This is the new definition of leadership. This is the power of action. This is practical governance. The Pueblo Blueprint. A new Edo has risen, and it is rising higher every day. Attention, Edo people. The Edo State government has banned all illegal revenue collection by transport union and unauthorized agents. No more extortion, no more intimidation. NURTW, RTEAN, ANNEWAT. Anawat. Drivers on wheel. Banned. Atalakba Recovery Concept. Banned. You are not to pay any cash to anyone claiming to collect levies, dues, or taxes on our roads. If anyone tries, report them immediately to the Edo State Special Task Force. Call 0803-815-7126 and let's kick out the harassers for good. This directive will be backed by law. Violators will be arrested and prosecuted. Edo State government, under the leadership of the people-loving governor, Senator Monday Okwewolo, is cleaning up the system and protecting you. Say no to extortions. Say yes to law and order.
18 months after construction began, the Ramat Park flyover has reached completion right on schedule, with street lights now being mounted atop the bridge as of today, July 1st. The project has entered its final phase ahead of commissioning. Governor Monday Okwewolo, who flagged off the construction in November 2024, says the flyover will be commissioned this November 2026. Join Lucky Sabawa Edo for an exclusive scorecard on Ramat Park flyover. Don't miss it, only on EBS News.
My people, you sabi say clean environment good well for we body and with business. I beg, make we not dey throw away dirty for inside gutter, for that corner way near we house, for that corner of road and for center of roads. Make we not dey let water gather for we frontage and make we dey clear the bush where they we compound. As we governor dey work hard to make Edo State clean and fine well, make we join body with the good work to make the plan work. I beg, not throw away dirty for anyhow place, so instead gather them for one place and call waste managers to pack and comot. Make you also stop people wey wan throw away dirty anyhow. Say anybody wey government catch, I beg no go dey o. Keep Edo clean. This message now from Edo Broadcasting Service.
I will show you where you will rent Caterpillar from, you still pay him. Now we have bought this. If you add 15 million by 3, that will give you 150 per month. Now, in 1 year, we have almost paid for this. Both the low bed, the 3 Caterpillars. Now we bought the low bed because we don't want to rent low bed from anywhere. It's Edo State property. We have not borrowed money from anywhere to buy this. We use Edo money to buy it, to work for Edo people. So I pray that God will give you the energy, the wisdom to manage this equipment for Edo people. I commissioned this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Security is government's responsibility. I have since mandated the local government to start paying them salaries, starting from this month. So it's one thing to say it. It's also another thing for you to cooperate with the local government. You must register your name. You must submit the list of your members so that they will enlist you into their payroll. So in every local government, at least we should have 300 persons. And those 300 persons, their names will be submitted properly to the local government. Then they will become staff of Edo State government. They can also be rest assured at the end of the day they will get their pension.
Welcome back to Daybreak. We still have Godwin Jumbo, a public affairs analyst, who is talking about Jackpot crisis and Nigerians' infrastructural challenges. Thank you for still being with us till now.
All right.
I would like to ask, or there's a note out there that says, in 2024, the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, NMCN, introduced a guideline requiring at least 2 years of post-qualification work experience before it would process verification requests for nurses seeking registration with foreign nursing regulators. Now, this was widely interpreted as the government trying to slow down the migration of nurses, that is the Japa syndrome. And the policies, it has sparked protest from nurses and professional associations. So I want to really ask now, Godwin, is it possible for the government to stop people from jackpotting from the country?
It's not possible, but the only thing the government can do is to minimize jackpot.
Okay.
You understand? Because these are fundamental rights. You have rights to freedom of movement. You can live anywhere in the world as far as you have the right documentations, the right papers and all of that. But government on the other hand, can minimize incessant migration, like allowing our best brain to live and all of that. Why? How? It's just to improve on each sectors. Talking about the nursing. If, for instance, as a nurse, my salary can take care of my basic needs, I will consider JAPA as a plan B, not a plan A. You understand? And so with this, we've allowed those who wrote JAM through the back door to be in our hospital. That's why when you take patient to the hospital today, somebody that have headache, when he come back, he will now start having kidney problem.
Or even leg problem.
Why? Because the wrong injection was given to the wrong person.
Administered, yes.
You understand? Somebody there are some sickness you will see that, oh, this person can survive. But in this case, you just be praying God.
And you see fake nurses, fake health practitioners parading themselves out there as professionals. When you have they say they're auxiliary nurses,
Good.
In quotes, they just go for 2 years or 1 year plus training, and then they come out and say they are registered nurses. So these are concerns, and it is detrimental to our health.
So a government that is people-centric will check the mortality rates, and especially when it's emanating from our hospital. If we have high mortality rates, be it as it were right now, coming from the hospital, it means we have brain drain when it comes to the medical sector.
Yeah.
And so what do you do in that regards? Improve the medical line. Give people in that field opportunity to explore. You understand? Let them feel at home. Instead of thinking, because this Japa syndrome just came here as a result of, oh, my cousin is abroad. He has been there 2 years. He's able to build this. He's able to do it. He's doing well. If somebody that is in UK can build 5-story building, and for me, I'm here, I can build a bungalow. There are some persons that are self-contented like me. I will not need to struggle myself as far as I have shelter, where to hide my health, and all of that. So government needs to improve on those areas. That's the only way we can minimize JAPA. But government cannot stop JAPA.
And again, it will interest you to know that those of us or Nigerians that live here to other countries, the Western countries, are not also finding it easy there. Because you also have this thing of racism there, the weather condition, the environment. Sometimes discrimination is there, but you see, they don't even look at this effect. All they want to do is, let me just live here. Let me leave this place. I can cope. I can manage. In as much as the pay is okay. That is one of the things that spoil them. That is one of the motive that makes them to say, okay, even no matter how bad it is, I can cope, because whatever I get there and whenever I bring it here, it will still be better than what I was earning here. Last time, I'd like you to finally ask a question so we can quickly wrap up this segment.
Like let me read out from this very place when it has to do with that is the controversy that came up. That was 2024 when the NMCN introduced stricter verification requirement, including a minimum period of post-qualification experience before issuing verification to foreign nursing regulators. It said many nurses and professional associations argued that these rules made it more difficult to immigrate, leading to protests and legal challenges. I know you mentioned that the government cannot restrict its citizens from traveling.
Yeah.
Except maybe they don't have the right documentation. That's the only reason maybe such citizens will be restricted. But what we are seeing here is that the restricted measure that were put in place back in 2024, when this body restrict whoever is going to verify their certificate before you leave, you have to practice for 2 years before you can even move. So what do you think about that? Take for instance, you spend a good number of years in school, and now you just feel like, okay, there's need for me to relocate, maybe to have better opportunities, a safer environment to practice my profession. But there's a rule in place now, because when you get over there, the company that are going to employ your services will have to verify your results to ascertain the authenticity of that result. Then the body here will not say, okay, if it's within this period, then that person cannot practice his or her profession. What do you think that is?
Looking at the Western world, first, they don't even look at your certificates in the first place. What they look at is your work experience. They pay more attention to your work experience. I'm not saying that your certificate does not matter.
Okay.
But they feel comfortable when you have been in that field for a very long time. To them, they feel that you have the requisite knowledge to deliver.
The wealth of experience.
Yes, the wealth of experience. Because when you come with challenges every day, you are able to solve one or two. So for me, the 2 years is this not Nigerian? They will serve the 2 years and all of that. Because they need that work experience to explore over there.
You know, you still need to submit your certificate officially so as to be recognized.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They need that work experience is very important. It's beyond just like you are applying for even school. They will ask you, you are coming here to school, blah blah blah. What is your work? You have to show your work experience. You have to show those things. You have to show those things. But is that the solution? That's never the solution. The solution is government should demonstrate that they care for their citizens. That's the main thing. We are patriotic. We are Nigerians. We love our country. You understand? We love our country. Okay, look at the football aspect of it. A lot of good players are playing in other countries. Let's talk about France, like Olise and all of that. These people would have represented Nigerians in the World Cup. Yeah. But we've lost them. Why? Because when you come to the Football Association, they don't have insurance. Insurance does not cover them. When they get injury, they have to take the problem to their club side. In most cases, you understand? And some of them that does not have a good club side, they will have to look for money to fix themselves. Is it supposed to be like that? We are supposed to be patriotic. The government needs to give us a green light and we become patriotic. Some Nigerians who breaks law in Nigeria, when they go abroad, they stick to laws. You know why? Because the law does not respect anybody. But over here, we feel we just override on things and all of that. And so for me, kudos to Senator Monday Okpebholo, who has taken security issues in Nigeria, in Edo State, particularly in Edo State, very decisively. Very well. You understand? Now, I told you, I said, a lot of persons don't travel because of greener pasture, but because they need safe landing. They want to be safe. They want their family to be safe. And so with what is happening in Edo State, we're already getting a good feeler from diaspora that Edo State can be safe. It's no longer the state where you have court groups killing themselves and all of that. So I will advise all court groups to convert that group into a tech hub. Let's start producing something instead of looking at your brother and saying, in most cases, the people that are being killed are not even the architect of the problem. Yes. They are innocent. But because they belong to one court group or the other. So if, for instance, we have 7 different court groups, each court group should think of what they can produce in Edo State. Yes. One should be producing camera, the other one should be producing television. And let's see, made in Edo State. You understand? So for me, that step of Senator Monday Okpebholo to reduce courtism in Edo State is another environment or another safe haven for us to have a reduced number of persons from Edo State living recklessly to abroad.
Well said. I'd like to thank you, Godwin Jumbo, Public Affairs Analyst, for gracing us with your insights on this topic. It has been a very delightful and interesting section with you this morning. And thank you so much for your beautiful insights.
Thank you
I hope
very
that
much.
when we call on you again, you oblige us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just so we know that perhaps the real question isn't whether Nigerians should leave or stay. The bigger question is whether Nigeria can become a country where everybody is safe, and that it can no longer be seen as a sacrifice, but a genuine opportunity to better our country. And then if we can rebuild reliable infrastructure, strengthen institutions, create jobs, and restore confidence, and improve security, I believe that this Japa may become a thing of choice rather than many feeling that it is a necessity. I'd like to thank you for staying with us on Daybreak this morning. I remain Anne. I'm Yosose, and
God sent Honor Shabri. Join us tomorrow again.
you have a blessed day.
Thank you. Bye.